What's up, guys? Chris, VA Travels. Now I'm out here in Wytheville, Virginia, a little town in the southwest portion of the state, and I'm going to visit the Thomas J. Boyd Museum. Thomas J. Boyd, he's known as the father of Wytheville. He was mayor and attorney, hotel builder, and yeah, should be some pretty interesting items inside. I'm going to go check this place out. And yeah, we've got a little millstone down there. And I don't know, I'm going to ask what this building was. It looks like probably an old school, I would guess. Perhaps a library, probably an old school. Maybe had some windows right there. But yeah, pretty nice looking building. And before I go in, there's a little horse fountain down here. There he is, Thomas Jefferson Boyd, father of Wytheville, born 1804, attended UVA. And he established the Boyd Hotel, which for years was the tallest building in Virginia. Ran the hotel from 1858 until 1893. He was a Virginia delegate. And right here, 1895, this is the cornerstone to the Wytheville Opera House. So, pretty cool. They've got that on display. And let's see, many performances. Local plays like the 1922 The Microbe of Love, The Scarlet Letter, Rudolph Valentino in A Sainted Devil. So yeah, there it is right there. All right, cool. And yeah, the little horse drinking fountain right here. And yeah, it was filled with the town's water. It was outside the Whipple Courthouse. And yeah, this is where the citizens' horses would drink. Oh yeah, and the little mounting stone, a little kind of carriage step up, little horse step up. So anyway, all right, let me go inside, check this place out. All right, I'm checked in. I'm gonna take a look around, learn a little bit about Wytheville. And to tell you, the ticket was $10, and we'll get you in here, and it will get you to the Holler House, which is right next door. And this building that we're in was built 1924, so it's exactly 100 years old. And it was kind of a vocational school just for farmers. It sat empty for the longest time. And then in the 80s, it was turned into a museum. And the building right next door that I was talking about, that's the front of it that's facing the road. These wings are still standing, but the whole center portion, this was the high school, and I believe that was the elementary school, she had said. So this is all kind of parking lot now. It's been taken down, but, and I believe 1927 the center part was built, she had said. So local hometown team, the Statesmen. And there they are. Got the bats all laid out. 1948, they were Class D in the Blue Ridge League. They played to enthusiastic crowds at Withersfield. And this ball down here is signed by the team. Doubleheader going on June 8th, and this guy must be a star. Lefty Ed Zuber. Old pictures of the town. I see Rexall Drugs. There it is right here. Alright, another picture. So this one's saying 1940s to me. In the old Wit Theater, maybe, right there. Like I say, I'm not too familiar with the area. Oh, Hot Point Range with double oven. And you can get that over at the Kinser Miller Hardware with some Sherman-Williams paints. And what's this over here? Hot Point Food Freezer. Okay, another picture of the store. Oh wow. Old Philco radios back there. Pretty neat. So just kind of a general store. Got a little bit of everything. So that must be the inside. The old Kinser Miller Hardware. Yeah, you can get just about everything, looks like. So here we are right here. This is the famous George Wythe Hotel, and now it's the Bowling Wilson Hotel. I had considered staying there, but it was a little too rich for my blood. Pretty neat video of Wytheville in the 1930s, and that is some grainy footage. But pretty neat seeing life from 90 years ago. Yeah, world was a different place back then. Look at people kind of dressed up to go out. They've got their hats on. Well, it's pretty sad over here. This is an infant iron lung from the polio epidemic of 1950. Boy. Gosh. And yeah, so polio, viral disease that affects the spinal cord and central nervous system, destroys motor neurons, and yeah, they didn't know at the time, but it passes through mouth, passes by unwashed hands or contaminated food. And we know Franklin Roosevelt suffered from it. Yeah, talking about all the different families that were affected. The Taylors over here, 4 of the 6 Taylor children, Howard, Danny, Sherman, and Allen, contracted polio in the 1950s. Sherman and Howard died, Allen recovered, and Danny continues to suffer until today. This is the Emerson respirator. It's a giant iron lung. And pretty much, yeah, it's an airtight iron tank. The patient would lay inside. The head would be the only thing sticking out. And yeah, they would regulate changes in air pressure just to basically make you breathe if your lungs had been paralyzed by the disease. But luckily the vaccine came along, thankfully. But yeah. And they've got all the components listed out. Boy, yeah. Lee Hale, the longest living survivor inside of an iron lung, at age 31, caught polio, and they said he wouldn't last more than 48 hours inside the lung, but he ended up living 30 more years. And at one point he was able to survive about 3 hours a day outside of the lung. But looks like he's in pretty good spirits there. That's good. The medical cabinet over here, used by pediatrician Dr. Charles Hughes during that 1950 breakout. And he used this desk until his retirement in 1978. Colonel William Campbell, the Battle of Kings Mountain. And during the battle, he urged his over-mountain men to shout like hell and fight like devils. And there's a pretty neat muster museum down in Abingdon, which isn't too far away. One of the 33 enslaved miners over at the Chisel lead mines getting the iron for the lead balls. We've got a bullet mold, bullets, and bar lead. And lead that came from the Chisel mines. Lead melts at 621.5 degrees. Check out this old musket over here. Map of the Indian nations. Got the Creeks, the Cherokees, Choctaws, Chickasaws. Oh, fort right here. Alright, so we've got Williamsburg, Carolina coast, Fort Moore, Fort Augusta, a brick from a magazine at Fort Chisel. Shoe buckle, huh? The Fincastle Resolutions, formed in 1772 out of a portion of Botetourt County. And yeah, look at it, stretched to the Mississippi River. And it was most likely named after the oldest son of Lord Dunmore. He was the last colonial governor of Virginia. His son George, he was Lord Fincastle. So there you go. In that land included part of what is now Wytheville County. Little corner back here dedicated to Thomas Jefferson Boyd, father of Wytheville. And okay, we read this outside. And check out the Boyd Hotel. Pretty nice building. The Spiller Family Bible. Oh, there he is, Thomas Jefferson Boyd. Died at his residence. Minerva French, his wife over here, and this is believed to be their engagement portrait from 1833. Alright, so this was probably done about the same time. Handsome looking gentleman. Okay, oil painting over here. There he is in his later years. Got the big beard going on. Okay, sampler embroidered by his wife. Oh, and she attended the Moravian school down there in Winston-Salem. I've got a video on that. Pretty cool. Circa 1826. Pretty neat. Is that the Boyd Hotel again? There's Minerva right there. Daughter and granddaughter over here. Spiller home. So the town was originally called Evansham. 1839 General Assembly changed the name to Wytheville. And this section in red marks the original land donated by Christopher Simmerman and John Davis. Alright, bird's eye view over here from the 1920s. Alright, so the boundaries from the 1880s over here. Alright, this Main Street up here. Where all the action is. St. Mary's Hall. Yeah, the Virginia and Tennessee Railroad ran through here. Completed in 1856. It ran from Lynchburg to Bristol. And it really helped boost the town, increase commerce. There's the BOYD Hotel. Okay, it's right next to the train depot. Yeah, get off the train, hop in the hotel. A couple more pictures. We've got segregation going on over here. Okay, so more from the BOYD. Okay, so it burned down in 1951. Wow, yeah, like I say, tallest building in Virginia for a time. Okay, old drawing by Lewis Miller. Over here we've got the National Negro Business League Executive Committee from 1910. Okay, there's a Booker T. Washington right there. There he is, yeah, 1910. I visited his homestead. If you want to check that out, I've got a video on it. And the first Negro Business League was organized by Booker T. Yeah, Reverend Thomas Hebron right there. And a lot of the African American businesses are around town. There's a barber right there, William Harper. The Metropolitan Club. So we've got Reverend Hebron again over here at the Wytheville barbershop on Main Street circa 1920s. And that's with his son, Richard Hebron. Okay, this guy chilling out over here on Reisman Road from the 1940s. William Johnson, 1930s. And looks like William Johnson owned a lumber store. Longspur, Virginia, 1909. Pretty neat display back here, and it looks like this section is dedicated to the mining. Buried treasure. Yeah. So it looks like iron ore and coal was discovered late 1600s into the early 1700s. Map of the Norfolk and Western Railroad, New River, Cripple Creek mining territory. I see Poplar Camp right there, Carroll County. And over here, the Acres Cut. Down here, Norfolk and Western engine, Type J engine that pulled ore and stone from Wytheville County to the Pulaski furnace. Some hard-working men right there. He's got his overalls on. And loading some ore down here. And some serious work. Yeah, it looks a little dangerous. And this quarry and boarding house over at Cripple Creek. What is this? The Ferris Mines over in Foster Falls, Virginia. Big old steam shovel right here from 1904. Payday at New Jersey Zinc. And this would be in 1929. Right before the Great Depression. And yeah, lined up to get their checks. Those old telephone wires. And over here, a shovel and pickaxe used by the New Jersey Zinc mining operations at Austinville. And a bullseye Historic breakthrough by James Walk. 1957, a 2.5-mile ore haulage tunnel 1,000 feet below the surface and passing under the New River was completed. Wow. Okay, there they are, shaking hands. Some neat things to look at over here. And this brick was used to line the inside of a 50-foot high wall over at Cripple Creek of a cold blast furnace. Alright, some slag down here. Some pig iron. Oh, a script machine used to receive tokens from the New Jersey Zinc and to spend at the company store. Oh yeah, lantern. Oh, what is this? This is a lead bar over here. With lead mines, Virginia. Okay, just going through the different types of zinc. Pretty interesting. The shot tower over there in Austinville. I visited this about a year ago. I didn't make a video because the inside was closed. So I just walked around, looked at it, but it was completed in 1807. Stands 75 feet high. Limestone walls. And yeah, the way it worked is, yeah, they would pour the metal and it would form into a ball as it fell and land and cool in the water. Yeah, that's how they made these this lead shot. Okay, so the Jackson Ferry, circa 1830. Ivanhoe furnace, quite an operation. And then up here near Cripple Creek, we've got the Noble furnace. And yeah, the zinc, the lead, the iron, it was all found with mixed with the surrounding rock. It would have to be crushed and heated to unlock the ore. Yeah, and eventually they would start to hot blast when you get into the 1800s. All right, well, it looks like a receipt going back to 1898. This thing going over the train trestle there near Cripple Creek. These guys taking a quick break, it looks like. Oh, and down here we've got the last train leaving the New Jersey Zinc Company, 1981. And these are some Foster Falls workers posing for a photo. This guy's pouring some iron into some molds here, creating pig iron. Yeah, just slabs of raw iron. Okay, so next door at the Rock House, yeah, I used to make that fence. Yeah, really nice fence surrounding the stone house next door. And what is this? Cast iron from the Wytheville Foundry and Machine Shops. A pen and ink drawing of the Brown Hill furnace. And yeah, smelting some iron. There's something in there. Looks like we've got a map here. There's the Noble furnace right there. Yeah. Lined all up and down through the area. Old Poplar Camp. The town of Ivanhoe. Never heard of it, but it's a little south of here on the New River. Had their own high school. And it looks like it was developed around the furnace that was constructed in 1880. Following the Civil War, the area grew significantly, including a 1881 completion of the Cripple Creek extension of the Norfolk and Western Railway. Had its own hotels, stores, churches, bowling alley, theaters, doctors, restaurants, and yeah, the train station. Galilee Fisherman's Lodge. African American Oddfellow is one of those old fraternal orders. An associated household of Ruth members, and they're conducting a ceremony on Railroad Hill. Interesting. And there's the Ivanhoe furnace. I think we saw a picture of that earlier. So yeah, limestone quarry, coal mine. There's the coke oven right there. There's some employees going to work. Well, I enjoyed that. I didn't know there was so much mining that went on around here. And there's a little bit more down here. Oh, what is this? Okay, old telephone operating board. That's pretty cool. Old switchboard used by the Wytheville Telephone Company. Yeah, there's a lot of neat stuff to see in here. I guess these would be old Watts numbers. I guess old phone numbers. Oh, the billing number. I guess that would kind of be the, yeah, that looks like a traditional phone number. Pretty neat. Oh, all right, so Richmond, Bristol. Okay, going down to Greensboro. Roanoke, Marion. These ladies hard at work. This looks like it had been pretty fancy at the time. The Cobra phone. Teletypewriter. Oh wow, that's pretty old right there. The French telephone, 1928. Oh, all right. So there's a little timeline going back to when Alexander Graham Bell first invented it. Oh, all right. So 1899. It looks like maybe it came to the area. Oh no, 1886. I'm sorry, it was formed. So Virginia Wells over here, she made the first and last call on the switchboard. She was known as Operator 16. First call in 1955 and the last call in 1984. Well, congratulations to her. Yeah, there's a lot of neat stuff to see going back. An old portable writing desk from the 1880s. And look at this parchment. You can imagine that thing made some noise when you were typing, and you had to have some pretty small hands to be using that. Some cat whiskers, huh? Oh yeah, a little telegraph. Pretty neat Philco TV from the 1950s. You'll be watching I Love Lucy on that. Harlan Clemens, Treasures from Recycled Materials. Passed away at the age of 94 in 2018. Pretty neat collection. Oh yeah, he constructed this vintage truck with many recycled items. Parts of an old lawnmower, parts of a vacuum, an old shipping crate, a bucket. All right, so he served in World War II, the 157th Engineers Combat Battalion. There's some pigs right there. Oh, all right, so Max Diner. Okay, there we go. So we're about to walk into the general store, your one-stop shop at the time, and first look at this old telephone. I don't see a crank on it. There's a small one right there. Yeah, buy shoes, brushes, horseshoes. Yeah, basically everything you needed at the time. Okay, you can get barbed wire. And if you want to know the different types, there you go. Alice Sawtooth from 1881. Oh, all right. Some tea back there, black pepper, turmeric, rubbed sage, some Lipton tea bags. All right, you can get a fancy dress too. Is this a Sears catalog? Yeah, I think so. Sears Roebuck back there. And check that out, 30 cents, City of Richmond. Oh, all right. Pretty simple to use, it looks like. Oh yeah, of course you've got your candy over here. Alright, just bottles and buckets and a bell down here. Little candle mold right there. It's kind of a potbelly stove over here. That's a serious drill press right there. And you can you guess the year of each of these? Yeah, some old stores in the area. Real quick look over here. Robinson Tate and Company, wholesale groceries. Old receipt right there. I don't see 1892. Out of Lynchburg. Yeah. That's before you had your modern grocery store with baskets. You tell them what you want and they grab it for you. Alright, so that's 1900 right there. J. Garland Saxon. Dealer in hard and soft coals. And then finally over here, a Foote and Johnson farm wagon, donated by Mr. and Mrs. Sam Castle in 2015. So Foote and Johnson was a company started in Wytheville in 1884. All right, so a little history. Oh, a photo from 1876. Wow. Got their little hats on. Oh, all right, so it's got all their names too. Pretty cool. All right, some quality feed right there, it says. Interesting. All right, so we've got a beekeeper over here. Kind of a child making some local honey. Misty Mountain Farm. Oh, you can buy some upstairs in the shop. There you go. Oh, well, some information on beekeeping. The queen bee right there. They've got little bees hanging from the okay, a queen surrounded by her court of bees. Interesting. All right. Okay, so there's the fire brigade right there. 1938. Got their uniforms on. It's got all their names. In 1951 over here. And hard at work, something's burning down. Yeah, they used to use buckets back then. Wow. Climb the ladder and throw buckets of water on it. Oh. Yeah, okay, filling it up right here, pumping, guys pumping away. Boy. Fire masters carried wooden noisemakers called rattlers to alert the citizens, and they became known as the Rattle Watch. Interesting. All right, big old horse over here pulling a wagon. So is this a fire wagon? I'll walk over and take a look. This thing's pretty old. You can see it was all painted up at one time. It's all faded. But yeah, there's little buckets. Ladders right there. During the 17th century, people believed that ringing church bells in reverse would control large fires. In Japan, whenever a building caught fire, hundreds of people would surround the palace and fan away flying embers while allowing the building that was on fire to burn to the ground. So there was a large fire called the Big Fire. 1924, it was the second time the town had burned. Yeah, hose wagon over here. First used approximately 1850. Repainted and lettered in the 1960s. Yeah, crystal radios. And they were the first types of radios. Young boy right here. And yeah, it became popular early 1900s. They act as receivers and do not need batteries or electrical power to operate. In the 1920s and 30s, young boys loved to build crystal radios from kits. They got them out of magazines such as the American Boy. And some advertisements over here, pretty interesting. Climax radio receiving unit. Well, I enjoyed that. It's pretty cool. Learned a lot about Wytheville. And yeah, like I said, I didn't know mining was such a big deal. Didn't know there was such a big polio outbreak. And I picked up this brochure. Might come back sometime and do a walking tour. I know I say that all the time, but yeah, pretty thick. This is pretty detailed. So anyway, but yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. As always, guys, you can follow me on Instagram. You can support me on Patreon. You can also follow me on Facebook. I just created a Facebook page. And be careful not to click on the imposter. Somebody created a dummy VA Travels. I didn't know I was that famous. But yeah, just look for my new logo. But anyway, yeah, getting out of here as always, like and subscribe. See you guys.